What's up, everyone? This is Jay from the Crypto Art channel, coming back to you with more updated news on what's happening in the market. Now, in the past week, I haven't been active. I've been working on other things, but all I can say is that moving forward from here, is that I'll be having more videos uploaded. So, let's get straight towards the news. All right, so this is Donald Trump. Here, you know what? Let's hear what he has to say.
You don't like Bitcoin? You wouldn't invest in Bitcoin? Do you invest in the stock market at this moment?
So not at this moment. I think it's high. So I have not invested in the stock market at this moment. I have in the past, but I have not at this moment. I think it's high. Bitcoin, I just seems like a scam. I was surprised. With us it was at 6,000 and much lower. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar. Essentially, it's a currency competing against the dollar. I want the dollar to be the currency of the world. That's what I've always said.
One last question.
All right. Now, here's the thing about Donald Trump is that even though his narrative says that he's against Bitcoin or he says he seems that it's a scam, you gotta understand when he was in office, this guy's board was actually making a lot of infrastructure relating to the fourth industrial revolution. And also keep in mind that in 2018, Ripple also had a an interview or a meeting at the White House. So if he is saying that Bitcoin seems like a scam or the whole entire blockchain cryptocurrency in general, just understand that they don't make those moves without a reason. Okay, and also when it comes to billionaires, guys, and gals as well, don't be listening too much of their words. Follow what they do. And a lot of the times, these guys will try to trick us, add all these FUD news, like fear, uncertain, doubt, because that's how they keep the masses uninformed and keep them fooled, so that way they're always in the losing side. So when I hear negative news like this, I stay bullish, okay? And yes, Donald Trump, even though he's not the president now, believe me, he will be back in like 2024 because that whole agenda or like the whole entire time when he was in office or during that whole election thing, they were actually pushing blockchain, but they didn't use it at that time. They were building up the narratives for all these like fraud, um, votes not being counted, and one of those. I mean, they also stated that in those votes, there's actually some sort of like stamp, like blockchain stamp for them to scan to make sure that the vote is legit, this and that. But oh, of course, the favor went into Biden, but blah blah blah. Like it's all part of their plan, guys. Just understand that when it comes to um, these government officials, they're nothing but puppets to the real government, which is the Fed, central banks, all those big guys. They're the ones controlling it all. They have the money, and where money goes, things happen. And yeah, money does revolve. I mean, make the world go, round. Anyways, keep in mind that nothing I say is financial advice, guys. So please do your own research on top of mine. I'm just giving you my opinion based on what I've learned for the past year when it comes to understanding economics or like how these big players like to move. All right, so moving forward, we have the Chinese government saying they want to issue a blockchain development roadmap. So yeah, when it comes to blockchain or the fourth industrial revolution, China and all over Asia, they are far ahead of us in terms of the West. So China's Office of the Central Cyberspace Affairs Commission and the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, or MIIT, have identified 4 essential application areas for blockchain adoption. Now, the whole cyberspace thing, uh, believe me, in the future or like the later months, you're gonna see more talks about space, and there are a lot of space coins out there. Well, which I will share not only my Patreon, but also in videos as well. I'll talk more about that later on. But let's take a look at this article, what they have. So, the MIIT document lists the economy, finance, industrialization, and public services as the main focus for blockchain development in their country. According to the MIIT publication, traceability, data sharing, and supply chain management are some of the use cases for blockchain that can have significantly positive impact on the real economy. And that is true. They already have certain coins or certain blockchain protocols like VeChain's protocol working on that, and there's going to be more. There's Track as well. They have Man, Matrix AI, and a bunch of other ones. But please, guys, that is not financial advice. I want you to do your own research so that way you develop more conviction towards these crypto projects that are actually making a difference in the new economy. So, in the area of finance, the MIIT publication calls for the promotion of greater intersection between blockchain and other emerging technologies like cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and the internet. And when it comes to the new economy, guys, what you're going to see are more routers, free routers out there. They're going to be like popping up in your location. Some of them are miners like HNT miner. What it does is gives proof of coverage, so it'll give internet to the people, and at the same time, it's mining HNT coins. So remember, that's not financial advice. Look into that. And of course, the idea of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is basically the main part of the new economy, where they're going to be living with us, working with us, also taking a lot of jobs. I kid you not. So if you have a job and you have to follow certain rules and guidelines, believe me, guys, all that rules and guidelines are just basically data for the artificial intelligence robots to follow as well. So humans are going to be taken out of the equation when it comes to jobs. So that means a lot of humans are going to have to adapt to that environment. And I do foresee a lot of people moving towards the creative arts, because all these analytical, logical jobs, they're going to be heavily taken over by robots. And you'll see. You will see. It might not happen now, or you may not see it now, but trust me, that's where the new economy is heading towards too. So the MIIT's proposal for blockchain adoption for public utilities also includes concepts like smart cities and utilization of the novel tech in government services. And that is true, guys. The document leans heavily on the immutability of blockchain-based ledgers and improving evidence collection mechanisms in areas like judicial deposits, civil registries, and administrative law enforcement activities. As part of its developmental goals, the MIIT calls for the establishment of at least 3 backbone enterprises of the blockchain industrial clusters. The document also touches on international collaboration, especially under the aegis of the Belt and Road Initiative. So, going back to smart cities. So, basically, in the whole idea of smart cities is that blockchain, 5G, and all that is going to be heavily utilized. So, that way, these automated vehicles, electric vehicles, are going to be roaming around the city all on their own. And of course, they will need a great source of connection so that way they don't lag. If these, what I call automated vehicles, were to experience a slight lag, it could lead to a lot of disasters like car crashes, people dying. But who knows? Maybe some of these automated vehicles will get hacked and purposely kill some humans. You never know. And you never know who's gonna track it. Now, when it comes to improving the evidence collection mechanism, like the judicial deposit, civil registries, and all that, when it comes to blockchain, data is immutable, meaning you can't really destroy it or like change it. It's going to be noticeable when you do changes. Now, when it comes to identifying these changes, regular Joes and Janes are not going to be able to identify it as much. It's mainly going to be like the AI, government officials that can, have the resources to identify these things. So that's the beauty about blockchain, guys. You, it's hard for you to basically escape from data. And if there were any discrepancies with, let's say you guys make a deal, right, and you put it on paper, you put it in the blockchain, that deal will automatically be implemented using AI. So there's no like stories in between that you can use that we do now. Like we can, negotiate with the person. However, in the future, when all this is in the blockchain, you cannot be late on anything. Otherwise, there's going to be consequences. I don't know what the consequences are going to be, but I guess it just depends on the person you're making a deal with. And also, when it comes to Belt and Road Initiative, guys, this thing is still in the development process, and what it's going to do is bring in a lot of money towards these new economies. I mean, not new economy, but like the emerging markets like Africa, Asia, um, so Europe, basically all that continent in that section is going to be part of this new Silk Road. And basically, it's from what I read last year, they are expecting around like 30 to 40 trillion annually when it comes to this new Silk Road. And of course, they are still building it, but cryptocurrency is um, going to be playing a heavy role when it comes to the Belt and Road Initiative. So things like logistics, finances, artificial intelligence, they're all going to be mingling around in there. So yeah, look into the Belt and Road Initiative. There is definitely a lot of money involved in there. And of course, if you do your research right, you will see certain crypto companies are already involved in it. But I'm not going to tell you all of that in this video. If you do want that answer, you can, join the Patreon group and I'll share that answer with you because I have done my research on this. And yes, I do have positions in those cryptocurrencies as well. One of them is like giving me a lot of money right now. But, I understand where the world is going. I'm not pulling it out yet. All right, so this is another bullish news. We have El Salvador seeking to be the first country to legalize Bitcoin as legal tender. This is heavily bullish news, guys, because now the narrative is towards legalizing Bitcoin in terms of making it a legal tender. So that way, people can now transact in Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's not happening now. It's just now it's going to be more frequent, and you'll see certain stores accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment as well. And yep, they are the testing country for that, and of course, it's going to be adopted with other countries as well. One thing to note about Bitcoin is that it's not scalable, and I guess we'll hear more news about this from this country in the later future or near future that you can't scale it. So what they're going to do is bring in the layer 2 solution, which is Lightning Bitcoin. Yeah, look into it because that is the one that's going to be like, no, it's going to act as the IOU for Bitcoin. If you do try to read the white paper for that one, just understand that you are going to be using Google Translate quite a lot because it's in Chinese. Well, last time I read it, it was in Chinese and I had to do that. But I kid you not, guys, if you look at the chart in Lightning Bitcoin, there's a lot of room for growth, okay? So remember, that is not financial advice. Do your research there. All right, and here we have 21 shares launching another, or not another, a Bitcoin ETP, an Aqueous Exchange. Aqueous Exchange is a European exchange, so I do see a lot of money flowing into this because, yeah, I don't see Europe as a, what I call, third world country kind of thing. They're pretty heavily involved when it comes to money. So this is definitely bullish news when it comes to Bitcoin as overall the cryptocurrency space because wherever Bitcoin goes, the rest just follow. a good majority of the coins right now are still coupled with Bitcoin. So yeah, that's why that's why when you see Bitcoin drop, the rest of the market just drops along with it. But yeah, it's going to be at a point where that doesn't happen. But of course, do your research there. Now, when it comes to market news, that is all. It is important to also keep in mind of the other things that are involved, like the major players, which is the Fed. These guys bring in the most money when it comes to this. Now, what you're seeing here is the repo and reverse repo operations, and it is very important for you guys to keep this in mind because there's a lot of money. Look at that, 486 billion in this repo operation from Monday all the way to Tuesday. So what they're going to do is put this in the market, not necessarily crypto market, but like let's say mortgage-backed securities and other treasuries. Some of this will trickle into the crypto space. So I do expect a good, a better Tuesday or like a better day tomorrow than today. Today kind of got like a little pullback from that Trump news. So yeah, just keep this in mind, guys. And yeah, don't be surprised tomorrow as well if another repo operation close to $500 billion starts that ends from a Tuesday to Wednesday. All right, moving on to the indicators. We have crude oil price going down slightly, but it's still quite high. And also Bank of America wants to is aiming for $100 crude oil price. Now, when crude oil is higher up, that means the market is going up with it. I know it's weird, but one thing you can understand is that crude oil makes a lot of products. So if it costs a lot more, then these products are going to cost a lot more to acquire. So yeah, it does reflect in the market, both stock market and crypto market as well. All right, let's see. The next one on the list is the dollar index. So this being the negative is a good sign for the market because that means more weaker dollars is going to the market. I'm not going to explain more about that. You guys please do your own research on that. And the 10-year yield is probably the main benchmark when it comes to trading. It is still, it's fairly stable. It is in the positive end. So overall, today has been quite boring in the market. Flat, as well as getting pressure from all these different indicators. And of course, the narrative as well from Trump saying that, Bitcoin seems a little scammy. But overall, guys, cryptocurrency is not going anywhere at all. It's going to have its little dips here and there, but overall, it's bullish. I'm bullish on it because I know the dollar is dying, so there's going to be some sort of hyperinflation involved, and I want my money hedged towards something that will grow and help save me, my friends, and my family from disaster, financial disaster. And it's going to come, guys. We're not in a normal state right now. We're actually in a liquidity crisis, but in order for you to understand that, you're going to have to do your own digging as well. Not just look into crypto, but look into the other things that's involved with crypto. Because all this, guys, all the news, it's all connected. Even religion as well. There is some like religious aspects when it comes to crypto. But I'm not going to reveal that in today's video. Through time, I will definitely talk about it. And yeah, that is all I have for today's video. I will be making another video later on today, and it will be about some cryptocurrency, not just market news. So yeah, pay attention to that. And also, if you did enjoy my video, you found it informative, please do press like, share, and subscribe. It does help the channel grow, as well as helps you keep informed of the things that I'm researching. Because, guys, I've been in this for like a bit over a year, and I've learned quite a lot. And yes, I have had my portfolio grow quite a lot as well, like 5 to 15x. And it's going to continue to keep growing. and I'll share my journey with you guys, of course. But yeah, that is all I have. Please remember that nothing I say is financial advice, so do your own research. Thank you, guys.